Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're gonna take a look at the top teams for the Open Ultra League. Open Ultra League is going to be back for the first time for the new season. Some Pokemon are actually quite viable now since they got buffed this season. Not a lot of them, to be fair. I did not even get up to 10 with that, so yeah. This one is still ultimately going to be available next to the Summer Cup. I would imagine that most people are running or going to for the Summer Cup, or made a video about this one, going to be linked in the end card anyway, so no need to click away from the video. But you know what, you need to click the subscribe button, of course. Would really appreciate it if you love those videos, then that would be very cool for me. As you can see, only 42.0% have subscribed so far, and 69.69% have not subscribed, so feel free to subscribe to the channel and we can move right into the meta. Taking a look at the meta, nothing really changed, to be fair, nothing crazy changed. We had some changes in the last season though that kinda still impacted. For example, Tapu Fini now at rank number 3 with Nature's Madness, very cool Pokemon. I don't think I actually have a team with that today because we are mainly focusing about the new changes for the season, which are all so great, right? Not really, but anyway, we're gonna see here the meta didn't really change too much. Zygarde is still up there, which is ridiculous for people that have that thing. It is so annoying to play against this one, even in the Ultra League. Empoleon's still very cool. Cresselia still, every day, Cresselia is super overpowered in an Ultra League. Honestly, I feel like Cresselia never was not meta in the Ultra League. Since the beginning, always up there. Talonflame's still kinda cool. For the buffed Pokemon, you don't really see anything. So let's take a look at the buffed Pokemon we're gonna see here. Trevenant, first one. Seed Bomb got buffed. Hooray. Clefable, going to be a Pokemon that has Swift now. Doesn't want to use it. Go-Goat, nobody has it anyway, unless you wear to those 3 in-person events. Great job, Niantic, putting a very important Pokemon into 3 in-person events, great there. TYPHLOSION, going to be cool. We're going to have 2 teams with us today. We're going to have a team with the Titan, we're going to have a team with Yuxi, we have a team with Low Kicks, but yeah, that's basically it. So, not really a lot of changes there, very impactful. I would expect that the Titan has some play and TYPHLOSION has a lot of play. Moving on now to the team number 1. We're going to have the Titan as a Pokemon here that is definitely fairly solid in the Open Ultra League. I don't think you need even any XL candy for this Pokemon. Bulky Ice type now with a Powder Snow. There are other options as well, like for example here the Auroras as well, which would be a substitute if you don't want this one. But of course we have a mixture today here between teams that are kind of more built towards Pokemon that got buffed this season, and then teams that are just generally good in the Ultra League, because I don't have top 10 teams with buffed Pokemon because we don't have 10 buffed Pokemon for the Ultra League. So, anyway, we're going to see here as a Titan, going to be a very cool Pokemon with Powder Snow and Avalanche being a great, combination in general, plus Body Slam as a cheaper move as well is really cool. As you're gonna see, has quite some decent wins like the Giratina Altered, the Pidgeot, the Mandibuzz, the Cresselia even, which is really cool. And of course going to pair quite nice with something like an Annihilate and a Giratina Altered. Giratina Altered and Annihilate both going to be able to resist counter. But also, Giratina Altered plus the Titan is kind of a perfect match. You're going to be able to resist basically Water-type moves on the Giratina, which is a little bit awkward for the Titan because you don't really hit Water-type Pokemon. You're going to be able to resist Fighting and Fire-type moves on Giratina, and while Giratina is going to be weak against Ice-type Pokemon, which you have on your own here as well, which is at least kind of neutral, which is cool. So, very cool combination between those 2 Pokemon, but we can move on to team number 2. We're going to have a team here with TYPHLOSION, the Incinerate variant here as a closer for this kind of team. We're going to have another team later on where we're going to have to take a look at the Shadow Claw variant of it. So here we're going to see already there are some different kind of options to play this team. We decided to go for the Water Double Fire core here, which is kind of cool. You can also go for the Cresselia lead. You can also go for the Registeer as a Say Swap, or another Incinerate user on the back. The thing is here, you kind of always gonna get one weakness no matter what you're going to run. For example, you're going to decide to go ahead and go for the lead of Cresselia, and then you're going to try to go for the Registeer. This is in general a good core and totally fine. But you're going to be a little bit weak against Fire-type Pokemon, which is a little bit awkward. So if you're going to go ahead and go for the Feraligatr here and the Skeledurge together, you're going to see already, you're going to maybe have some other weaknesses against other Water-type Pokemon, which is just a little bit annoying, but there's always going to be one weakness, but it's still going to be fine. This team's still definitely going to work out quite well, I would imagine. And so, yeah, just try one combination. It's kind of what I call calculated risk. So, if you know, okay, maybe this one matchup is going to be a little bit annoying, but you're good against nearly everything else, then it's still worth playing a team. And so yeah, this is kind of what I would consider as that. Moving on to the next team here, we're going to have the Shadow Claw variant of the Shadow TYPHLOSION in this one. We're going to see as well that we're going to have the Chestnut in the lead, the Pokemon that you barely really see, but I feel like has quite some decent potential. Kind of similar to the Virizion. Same typing, different kind of fast move, different kind of charge moves, but yeah, kind of doing the same damage. We're going to have in the back here the Regirock. It's kind of similar to the first team that we saw, but just flipped around. And as you're going to see here as well, this team looks quite nice. Having a Rock type in the back, you can also run the Registeel if you have that Pokemon built in the back as well, but Rock type is a little bit better as you're going to have a better coverage against other Fire type Pokemon, which you would struggle a little bit against with the Chestnut if you're running something like a Registeel in the back. But this team looks like fire, honestly, like it looks like a lot of fun to play. I think it's going to be a good team. Also, Shadow Claw helps out here with the matchup against the Giratina. If you're going to encounter this in the lead, you can at least still kind of retaliate with the TYPHLOSION, which is kind of cool. Auroras in the back might be even a little bit better than the Regirock, but we already took a look at Auroras in the first team, so yeah, that's why I kind of changed it up. Let's move on to team number 4. We're going to have Thunder Punch Scrafty. Already took a look at this Pokemon before on the channel for the, other cup was Premier Cup, I think it was. Definitely check that video out as well. Cool Pokemon, Scrafty, cool Pokemon for sure. You need XL variant of this Pokemon. Same goes for Tentacruel, same goes for the Annihilate, I don't think you actually need it, but for the Greedent you would need it. So Greedent and also even the Jellicent here as an option as lead. All need XL candy, but yeah, you can still kind of make this team work for sure. But Scrafty was something that really surprised me. Like, I went way positive with this Pokemon in the Ultra League Premier Cup, so definitely, again, check that video out, but also check out Scrafty itself, like, very good Pokemon. Not too sure if it's always going to be better to run Thunder Punch, but I definitely had some moments where it really was better for me, so for sure, cool Pokemon, for sure. Maybe an upgrade or like a side grade in general for the Ultra League. Still very good team here nonetheless. Team number 5. If you want to take a look here at Uxie with Swift, I gave you the other option here of Cresselia as well, which is a little bit lamer, but most likely a little bit better. Still, Uxie got the upgrade to Swift, which makes the Pokemon a little bit better in general. Uxie is one of the bulkiest Pokemon also for the Ultra League. Issue is that Cresselia is also one of the bulkiest Pokemon. It has the same typing, has a better fast move, has better coverage. And so Uxie kinda falls off in terms of that thing. Otherwise, if you just want to have a different team, here just run Cresselia instead of the Uxie and you're going to have a great team as well, which is not relying on, yeah, Uxie and Swift. Swift is just barely doing any damage, but still going to make this Pokemon better, which is kind of funny. But we can move on to team number 6. Classic line here. This is going to be something where nothing is buffed or have anything new, but it is still, I mean, I guess Clefable would have Swift, but you don't want to run Swift. Like I talked about it in the top team video before. If Clefable would have had Swift with 35 energy, it would be actually very good on it. Here, Clefable with Moonblast and Meteor Mash is going to be better than if you run Swift on it, because you just give up coverage while you have already very solid moves and you don't really, yeah, gain that much, like, faster, but you're not really going to be way much faster with that move anyway, because like it is 10 difference between the Meteor Mash as well as the Swift, and you already only need like one extra fast move usually for that, and it just does way more damage. Like, it's basically does double the amount of damage as Swift, and it's just not worth it. So here, as you're gonna see, Clefable is a very good Pokemon in this meta, for sure something that I would recommend you to try out. Greedent, very good lead, very annoying lead. I hate to play against this Pokemon, honestly. You can also run Trailblaze if you want to, but this would make you a little bit hard-walled by the other Giratina Pokemon. But still, Crunch, Body Slam. I feel like Crunch and Body Slam is just going to give you better coverage in the current meta, so I would recommend you to keep this set here. 2 enters against Fighting type Pokemon in the back, the only weakness for those normal type Pokemon, which does make a lot of sense. Again, you can also run something, by the way, like Ancient Power instead of Shadow Sneak on the Giratina. I like the Ancient Power quite often, just because you have better options against Pokemon like Talonflame, which might be a little bit tricky with the Pokemon that you have in the back, so really depends on what you want to do here. Shadow Sneak is fine, but I also enjoy at least the Ancient Power a little bit more. The Shadow Sneak definitely going to help you out against something like a Registeel, which this team would also struggle against, so depends. But let's move on to team number 7. Low Kicks. Low Kicks is a Pokemon that you most likely would not really expect in the Ultra League, but you can build a fully XL variant of this Pokemon and run it with Counter. Great to run it? Maybe? I don't know, don't really think so. This Pokemon is going to have a tough time here. You can beat Guzzlord, you can beat Cresselia, you can beat Feraligatr. Can you beat anything else? I'm not too sure about it, but it is still a thing at least. It still exists, and this is a team that you can run around it. Here for the middle one, for the Save Up, you have to be a little bit careful, Basically, you can run Registeel on no matter what lead you use, but please don't run the Annihilate if you have the lead of Dragonite, unless you want to die to any kind of Fairy type Pokemon lead. So yeah, basically just be aware of this. Please try to not run a triple weak team to Fairy type Pokemon, then this would be kind of nice for you. But let's move on to team number 8. A cheapish team here, because nothing really needs XL Candy. Gliscor can have XL Candy, but you don't really need it, like literally. Like you can go for, I think mine is also like a level 39.5 variant of it. Shadow variant would be cool, but not necessary for Gliscor. You can also use the normal variant, both of them are fine. Yeah, Annihilate stays up here. Golisopod in the back. Golisopod kind of underrated, also in the Open Great League, I feel like. I kind of want to still make a video again about Golisopod in the Open Great League. Golisopod is just cool in the current meta, in a meta where Annihilate is a thing, because it just beats Annihilate quite hard. Plus, you have great coverage against currently most of the meta Pokemon. Like Giratina, you have still Aerial Ace plus super effective Shadow Claw against the fire type Pokemon like a Talonflame, like a Skeledirge. You're going to still have the coverage of a Liquidation. While they do neutral damage against you because of the bug typing, you can still hit them back. And so I like Golisopod a lot. I feel like this is one of the coolest, cheapest Pokemon. You need only 10k to get the secondary charge move on this Pokemon as well. So for sure something worth building. Also for the Great League in my opinion. But let's move on to team number 9. Team number 9 is going to be 100% not a cheap team. This is like one of the more overpowered busted teams that kind of make me want to play the Ultra League. I actually looked at my channel today and was like looking what kind of Ultra League teams I played, and usually they're all just like meme and fun stuff. I barely play Ultra League competitively anymore. Like basically for teams like this, like that's just kind of stole. Like this team is great, like this team is super good. Like play this team if you want to win. You can even run, if you have this Pokemon, a Zygarde complete form itself, the Cresselia in the back, and you're going to have your best time ever. But it is just also going to take quite a long time. For this one, Steelix is usually better than it looks on PvPoke. Like Steelix is usually so annoying to play against. I don't think I really have to tell you that anyway. Yeah, Steelix is kind of overpowered. If you would run, by the way, Zygarde in the back, you would have a little bit of a struggle against the Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini would be a little bit of an issue here. Shadow Sneak, most likely a little bit needed for this team to deal with other Steel-type Pokemon, plus also for the Tapu Fini matchup. But still, like, this is basically the most bulkiest busted team that you can run. But again, like, I just gonna put it in here because it's very good, but I don't like to run it myself, and I think it's kind of lame. Final one, classic one that always going to work, and it's also kind of cheapish to build. You can run the Dragonite, you can run the Seisauber Feraligatr, you can run the Empoleon on the back, you can use the Como on the lead. Pokemon that you usually should already have built. No XL team as well, just for the people that just want to play like the simplest team that you can run. Como is kind of cool. Dragonite maybe a little bit better, especially if you have the Shadow variant of the Dragonite. Kind of depends, but this team is solid. I kind of put this always into the Ultra League teams because it's just very good. Like, currently it's very good. I could see this team kind of falling off a little bit next season because Steelix very likely is going to get nerfed next season. But yeah, this is going to be it for this team. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. Check out the video towards the Summer Cup, and I see you then.